Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, CDCR, is reporting a murder has occurred at Pelican Bay State Prison. I find it amazing how quick and somewhat thoroughly the CDCR can release news as it chooses to. We currently have pending requests for information submitted just over 30 days ago. We do not expect our request to be fulfilled. On April 21st, 2024, a pair of exceptionally vigilant correctional officers were alerted to a disturbance involving a group of 5 Sureños. During dayroom program, officers observed Michael Challoner and Joseph Quintero engaged in a physical altercation. Both were described as being covered in blood. All inmates complied with verbal commands to stop their actions and assumed prone positions. No force was necessary during this incident. Medical staff were immediately called for assistance and determined Challoner had active bleeding, lacerations, and numerous puncture wounds. Life-saving measures were taken, and Challoner was transported by ambulance to an outside medical facility, where he was pronounced deceased at approximately 7:47 p.m. An assessment of the scene led to incarcerated individual Michael Jones, a suspect who was near a cell occupied by Oscar Monsibais and Omar Arzate. Jones was discovered with blood on his clothing. An inmate-manufactured weapon was discovered during a search of the cell and its occupants. This weapon was constructed of metal, sharpened to a point, and measured approximately 7 inches in length. Numerous items of evidence were collected from the crime scene. Quintero, Jones, Monsibais, and Arzate have been placed in restricted housing. Quintero, 36, a Sureño, was received from Los Angeles County in 2021, sentenced to life with the possibility of parole for first-degree murder as a second striker. Jones, 49, is a Sureño Magos from Hollywood. He was received from LA County in 1995, sentenced to 32 years for second-degree robbery, inflicting great bodily injury, with an enhancement for use of a firearm, second-degree robbery, assault with a firearm, inflicting great bodily injury, first-degree robbery, and attempted second-degree robbery. While incarcerated, he was sentenced on September 11th, 2003, to 11 years for assault with force likely to produce great bodily injury, a second strike in-prison offense. He was also sentenced on August 12th, 2010, to 3 years for possession of a controlled substance, an in-prison offense, and in 2015 to 2 years for possession manufacture of a deadly weapon by an incarcerated person as a second striker. Monsibais, 29, is a Cherryville Street Sureño. He was originally received from LA County in 2012, sentenced to 5 years for assault with a deadly weapon and inflicting great bodily injury. He was returned from parole in 2023, sentenced by Los Angeles County to 15 years, 4 months for attempted murder, possession, ownership of a firearm, and possession of ammunition by a prohibited person. All second strike offenses. Arzate, 29, claims Sureño Pico 5. He was received from LA County in 2021, sentenced to 29 years, 8 months for assault with a machine gun, kidnapping, and criminal threat to cause great bodily injury, death. He was also sentenced by LA County to 3 years for resisting or deterring an officer with violence. The deceased, Michael Challoner, 36, was received from Ventura County in 2009, sentenced to 21 years for voluntary manslaughter, with an enhancement for Street Gang Act in commission of a violent felony. While incarcerated, he was sentenced to 2 years for battery on a non-incarcerated person. He was also sentenced to 2 years, 8 months, for assault by an incarcerated person with a deadly weapon or force likely to cause great bodily injury, a second